Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's term will end on Saturday. He spent the last few weeks touring the Commonwealth, touting his administration's successes from Medicaid expansion to the economy. But we sat down to talk about the one moment that changed him and Virginia.
We're going to be proactive rather than reactive.
Virginia Governor Ralph Northam ran on the promise of moving the Commonwealth forward, but realized he had to first address Virginia's past, and quickly. From the deadly Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville months after taking office, to racial equality protests. On top of it all, his own history.
I cannot change the decisions I made. The last thing I wanted to do is hurt people, and so it was a very troubling time.
Pictures surfaced from Governor Northam's 1984 medical school yearbook page of someone in blackface and another in a Ku Klux Klan robe. The governor still denies appearing in this photo, but did admit to moonwalking once as Michael Jackson in blackface.
It was a dance contest. I had always liked Michael Jackson. I actually won the contest.
It was embarrassing.
The eyes can't see sometimes what the brain doesn't know. My brain knows a lot more than it did 4 years ago, and I think that's a good thing. I'm a better person because of it.
If his opponents and even Northam's closest allies had their way, the governor would have resigned back in February of 2019, but he decided to stay to, as he put it, listen and learn. What have you learned?
Oh, I've learned a whole lot. I'll tell you one thing I've learned. When we talk about racial issues, I have learned that black oppression, we talk about that a lot. It is alive and well. I think a lot of people that look like me think that black oppression ended with slavery, but then we had Jim Crow, and then we had massive resistance, and then mass incarceration.
That's why Northam says he put the focus of his remaining time in office on racial equity. He established a commission to bring to light any laws that gave way to racial discrimination, legalized the recreational use of marijuana, repealed the death penalty, eliminated holidays and statues honoring Confederate generals, including monuments in Richmond, once the capital of the Confederacy.
We don't need them. Not everybody agrees, by the way, but they're gone. This is neat.
Governor Northam also got rid of a few things at home.
When we moved in here, I had a sofa, a TV, a treadmill, and some weights, and it's all gone.
The governor and first lady began transforming the executive mansion to prominently feature the stories of black and brown Virginians, along with their contributions to the Commonwealth, including the painful tales of those who were enslaved and worked in this house.
We need to tell the truth. I went back, interestingly, and looked at my fourth grade history book. And there are pictures in that fourth grade history book of enslaved Africans landing on the shores. Looked like they were having a big party. Everybody was happy. Well, that's not accurate information. We need to make sure that what we are teaching our children is accurate and it's adequate. But also to look at the diversity.
Northam says without question, his administration's agenda concerning race and equality likely contributed to the villainization of critical race theory during last year's race for governor. CRT, more broadly, examines how racism has shaped and impacted public policy, laws, and modern life well beyond slavery.
We will absolutely rid the political agenda that it's made its way into our classroom by banning critical race theory on day one.
You know, the incoming governor ran on sort of a different platform, not quite what you're saying here. Even still spewing that he will make sure critical race theory is not being taught in Virginia schools, even though it's not. So do you worry sort of where we're headed in that regard?
I think the governor-elect and the next administration, they have a great opportunity to build on our progress and also a responsibility.
Yeah. Do you think they will?
If any of what the progress we've made is try to take it back, I think that the people will speak and say, no, this is not what we wanted.
I'll be down in just a little bit.
With just days remaining at the helm of Virginia's government, Governor Northam says this experience was humbling and admits he and the Commonwealth still have a lot more to learn.
I'm glad that Virginians stuck with me.
Now, Governor Northam is a pediatric neurologist and plans to return to his private practice in Norfolk next week, so wasting no time getting back to his regular life. Now, in response to our reporting tonight, a spokesperson for Governor-elect Youngkin says, in part, on day one, Governor Youngkin will get to work on delivering for all Virginians. Now for Youngkin and Lieutenant Governor-elect Winsome Sears, day one is on Saturday. The inauguration will be held on the steps of the state capitol. Our Tom Dempsey will be there covering it for you, and you can also watch the inaugural events on WUSA9.com and our WUSA 9 app.